Would you be okay to come up here and speak? So next up we have Dunja Knezevic, who's the president of the Models Union, who's going to talk for around 10 minutes about her experiences working with the Models Union.
I'm hoping I can speak without the mic. Can anybody hear me, or am I pretty quiet?
Probably in front of you on the table rather than in another sort of.
Okay, yeah?
Yeah.
Does that work? Okay, great. Hi. There's this little-known guy called Karl Lagerfeld. He's the creative director at Chanel, and he said, "Unreachable beauty is a reminder to make an effort." And then there's little old me, who said there were 6 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment, and a few of the girls were starving themselves. One of them ended up in the hospital because her stomach was eating itself. They would feed themselves on nuts, and a lot of the time spit out the nut after chewing it. So models are certainly making an effort. My name is Dunja Knezevic, and I co-founded and chaired the Models Committee at Equity, the Performing Artists Union. It was 7 years ago that a colleague and I decided that we had had enough of the dismal lack of regulation in the fashion industry. It was time to actually do something about it instead of just waiting for a change. Both of us being models, we decided that we would start with the modeling section of the industry. We were always aware that the industry as a whole was ignorant of the laws and regulations which apply to all other industries. But since modeling was the part of the industry we knew, it was logically the place to start. I had an opportunity to talk to Tansy about some of the reasons and tell her some of the stories that inspired me to take action. The story I want to quote from Stitched Up is one of the worst examples of disregard for a person that I've heard of in the modeling industry, and it's really stuck with me. So an agency got a call one afternoon with a request for a model to go finish up a shoot that started that morning and which was using very strong flashlights. The model sent by the agency ended up having the first layer of her corneas burnt off by the flashlights. She was rushed to hospital, which was the same hospital where the original model from the photo shoot was being treated. So they burned the corneas of the model in the morning, but didn't change the lights or anything before they just called an agency just to get another model in. So yeah, it's stories like this one that inspired us to create a union, and it compelled Equity and the media to, welcome us with open arms. But the industry itself still regarded us with much trepidation, and the public just didn't see an issue, because if you look quite pretty, then who cares if your pretty corneas are burnt off, And it's taken 7 long years for both of these sides to not only support us, but to aid us in our cause, which is amazing. And our achievements have been bigger than we ever could have imagined. We ensured better working conditions for models working during Fashion Week, with terms and conditions all designers and producers had to follow. And we ran a successful campaign with the British Fashion Council to promote London as a safe and healthy place to work for models. We introduced a 10-point code of conduct, which has been signed by major fashion institutions such as Vogue, Next, and French Connection, which are not voluntary, by the way, and encouraged and supported international organizations to improve conditions for models all over the world. But we do have a lot of work ahead of us. We still need to change the mindset of the industry as a whole towards wanting to be ethical and professional, because it's, reading Tansy's book, it opened my eyes to just how much of the elitism, sexism, racism, bullying, and prejudice that goes on in modeling goes on in every aspect of the fashion industry. You can recommend and enforce as much as you like, but if you don't change the mindset, nothing will be achieved in the long run. And the industry, as Tansy put in her book, is one hugely lacking in criticism, and it lives under a veil of mystification which has to be lifted for everybody to see. You know, a lot of people have said to me from time to time, if you think you're hard done by, look at the conditions these Eastern European models live under back in their own countries. You know, they should be happy to get treated the way they do here. Or your models have no complaints. Look at the way employees are treated in garment factories. And my answer to both is always that I'm not trying to belittle their causes. I know that the conditions we work under are vastly better than theirs. But does that mean we don't deserve to be treated under the laws which are set up in this country to protect its workers? All we ask for is the bare minimum protection in the workplace. There will always be causes more bleak and desolate, no matter what change you are fighting for. But does that mean they're not worth pursuing? I personally hope that the people on this panel, and Tansy, Hoskins, and others like us, will inspire more people to join the battle for a long overdue change in the industry. Thank you.